We're about a month into 2026 now, and this is usually the point where New Year momentum starts to fade. The goals are still there, but the days start to feel busy again, scattered, and we feel reactive. And the data backs this up as well. Nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by February, not because people don't care, but because intention alone doesn't survive the reality of life. Now, on top of that, only about 3 in 10 people even set formal goals in the first place. And most people don't even have a way to reflect on those goals or track them once the year gets moving. Now in 2026, one of the most common goals I'm hearing from people is, I want to get better at using AI. And I agree. The people who will be most successful this year are going to be the ones who make learning how to work with AI a priority. But saying that isn't enough. Just like with fitness or health or leadership, progress doesn't come from motivation alone or simply even saying things out loud. It comes from systems. Now, the difference this year is that you don't have to set your goals alone. You can actually merge setting goals and using AI together to be able to achieve what you want. We're going to use AI as a teammate, not to replace your thinking, but to help you think more clearly, reflect more consistently, and actually build skills on purpose instead of just hoping that you'll keep up with everything. Now to do this, we're going to use one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now in the book, he says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So instead of just setting a vague goal like, I want to get better at AI, I want to show you today how you're going to design a simple weekly system that makes you 1% better at using AI one small step at a time without feeling overwhelmed. So why does getting 1% better each day matter? Because in the book, James Clear shares that if you get 1% better every single day at what it is that you want to do, by the end of the year, you are 37 times better at what you're set out to make your goal. So if you practice using AI, just get 1% better every single day. That might be one prompt, it might be one idea, it might be one conversation you have with somebody. At the end of 2026, you will be 37 times better at using AI. So here's the whole method in one sentence. You're going to use AI once a week to design your week and once a day for a 2-minute reflection. So AI is going to become something that you practice with, not something you occasionally try or wait for somebody else to teach you. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, we're going to start with the simplest version of this because for a lot of people, this alone is going to feel like a breakthrough. So I want you to go ahead and open up your favorite AI tool. For this, I'm going to be using Gemini, and here's the prompt that I'm going to type in, and you can find it in the show notes below. So here's the prompt we're going to use to get started. My goal this year is to get better at using AI in a way that actually improves my work and life. Based on what you know about Atomic Habits, help me design a simple weekly system that makes me 1% better. Ask me the minimum set of questions you need, then give me a realistic plan for this week. Now we're gonna go ahead and press enter, and in just a couple of seconds, it's going to now start generating a response for us. It's got a couple of questions, it's got some frameworks and ideas from Atomic Habits. Now that we have these questions that it wants us to answer, we can actually go ahead and do one more little trick. You see, because we're in Gemini, it connects to our Google Calendar. So we can come over here and we can do the @ sign and we can do Google Calendar. And now we can say, well, one task I do every morning is drink coffee, and one recurring task that drains my energy is checking email. All right, and then on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable am I with prompting? Let's say I'm about a 6. And just like that, what's going to now happen is Gemini is going to connect to my Google Calendar. So you can see the Google Calendar icon popping up right there. It's kind of synthesizing all the different things I have. And then it is going to create an event on my calendar. And all I have to do is click over here. It's going to open up my calendar and add it there for me every single day. And just like that, you've not only learned how to use AI, you've also got yourself a daily habit to keep you accountable. Now, even if you do nothing else but this, you're already ahead of most people. You've moved from a vague goal to an actual system. And what we're doing here actually ties to another principle in Atomic Habits, the idea of identity before outcomes. You see, you're not just saying, I hope I use AI more. You're saying, I'm someone who practices thinking with AI, and here's how I'm doing it. And this is actually where most people get stuck. Most people open up a brand new chat every single time they're starting. They're having to re-explain their goals, they're reloading context, and that creates a lot of friction and frustration because you're having to repeat yourself yourself over and over again. Now, in atomic habits terms, the habit isn't obvious or easy enough to repeat. AI stays a tool that you occasionally use instead of a teammate that you are working with that's getting to know you more and more over time so you can go deeper in what it is that you want to do. This is why the environment matters. James Clear talks about this as well, designing your environment so the right behavior becomes default. Now for AI, that means creating one dedicated space where your thinking is going to live. One conversation, one role, one system. And to do this, we're going to create a custom AI teammate. We're going to train it once, we're going to remove the friction, and then we're going to reinforce identity all at the same time. You're going to be telling the AI tool how to support you, and you're telling yourself, this is how I work now. That's what turns a good idea into a repeatable habit. Now, every AI tool has something similar. In ChatGPT, this is called a custom GPT. In Gemini, it's called a gem. And there are many other places you can create these tools as well. Now, we're going to continue using Gemini, so we're going to be creating a gem together. I want you to think about the difference between a stranger and a real teammate. A teammate that you work with remembers what you're working toward. They understand your priorities, your vision, your values. They have context. They don't need the full backstory every single time you go to start a project with them. What makes a teammate effective isn't always just intelligence, it's alignment, shared goals, shared context, and a sense of where you're going together. When you customize AI in this way, you're giving it those same foundations. It's carrying with it memory, it's staying oriented to your vision and values, it's connecting ideas across time instead of treating every single interaction like a one-off conversation. And that's when AI stops feeling like just another tool and starts functioning like a teammate that actually supports you in your decision-making. So let's go ahead and turn AI from a helpful tool into your actual teammate. Now, you can absolutely do this in a regular chat, but if you want your AI tool to stay aligned with you over time, this is where creating your own custom teammate is going to make a big difference. And not only do I want to be clear here, I'm going to show you here in a moment as well. This is not a technical process. You're not building software, you're giving directions. In the age of AI, every single person is now a leader, no matter what your role or your title is. You are the leader of your AI team. So let's go ahead and create a teammate. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing this in Google Gemini, where these teammates are called gems. Now, when you create your gem or your GPT, if you're using ChatGPT, you're really doing three simple things. First, we're going to tell it who it is. Second, we're going to tell it how we want it to think. And third, we may, and this is a bit optional, give it any knowledge it needs so that it can remember more about us. Okay, so this is the part where we stop talking and we start setting it up together. I want you to pause the video if you need to go get your laptop or open up your AI tool so that you can do this with me. And as always, everything you need is going to be linked below. All right, so here I am now inside of Gemini. We're gonna go ahead and create new gem. And you can see over here, there are a couple of areas we need to fill out. So the first one we're going to do is the name. We can just call this North Star 2026. You can call it anything it is you like. We're gonna go ahead and put a little description in here. And then the most important part, this is what you are going to copy and paste from below, are going to be the actual instructions. We're telling it it's our journal teammate. It's here to hold us accountable and implement practices from atomic habits that we want to integrate this year. And then we've given it some other instructions. Obviously, you can go through and you can read this as well. Now, knowledge might be any other things that is about us that it needs to know. Maybe there are some business documents, maybe we've got some business plans, content strategies, whatever it is that you might have, knowledge is the place where you can implement this. And now we're ready to try it. So we're going to go ahead, come over here and do save. And let's go ahead and start the chat. So maybe another habit we want to start is maybe a weekly newsletter out to our team to motivate them and also share what we're learning about AI to share with your other teammates as well. So maybe we'll come over here and say, I want to start a weekly newsletter to share what I am learning about AI and habit building with my team. As they say, one of the best ways to learn is to be able to actually teach other people. Now, when you come over here, because your AI tool has already been trained in a couple of areas, it's going to start giving you questions and working with you in alignment with what it is you want to achieve, and you just continue the conversation from there. Now, there's one more step that makes this really powerful. You're going to give your custom teammate some background knowledge about you so it has context and doesn't treat you like a stranger every single time. You don't need to write an essay, just a couple of bullet points, and here's what I recommend adding in. And like I said, it's available for you to download below. So some of the things you might want to add knowledge on: your role or your profession, the type of decisions that you regularly make, your current goals for 2026, and the skills you want to strengthen. We already said using AI is one of them, but maybe you have a few other areas you're looking into as well. Now, something else you might want to include are your values or any non-negotiables, any recurring challenges that you face. And one of the other important things that you might share is how you like to receive feedback. Do you like it when people are direct, reflective, with some questions first, and things along those lines? So go ahead and download your document down below and get started so that you are ready to share this knowledge with your AI teammate. Now, what you've done is you have moved AI from being just a stranger that you explain yourself to over and over again into a teammate who understands where you're going and helps you think along the way. And the best part, you don't have to explain yourself anymore every single day. You see, every single time you come down to journal or reflect on your habits or do something new, you're going to open up that same custom teammate. That environment is going to be designed to already support the habit that you're building. It's going to remember the things you've done, the things you've talked about, and this is exactly what Atomic Habits teaches: making the right behavior the default. This is the moment that AI is going to really shift for you. It stops being something that you just open up whenever you remember something or you need a question to be answered, and it's going to become a consistent thinking partner, a teammate that's going to grow with you in this journey and throughout 2026. So if you zoom out, this isn't really about planning a better week. It's really about building a system that actually holds everything together when life gets busy. One weekly reset to decide what deserves your best thinking, one short daily reflection to build awareness, and one AI teammate that's going to grow with you over time. I have lots of prompts for you down below that you can download, that you can practice to refine your habits. And this is exactly how habits stick, not through motivation, but through design. And that's exactly what Atomic Habits teaches. Small behaviors repeated consistently shape our identity. You don't become good at using AI by watching more videos or learning more tools and features. You're going to become good at using AI by practicing how you think with it 1% at a time every single day. And the reason this matters so much right now is because 2026 is the year that using AI is going to stop being optional. But the people who benefit the most won't be the ones who are chasing every update and downloading every new tool. They'll be the ones with a system that helps them stay clear, grounded, and intentional as things continue to accelerate. So don't worry about getting this perfect. Focus on making your habits repeatable. Create one place where your thinking can live and come back to it consistently. Use AI as a teammate that helps you think things through, not something you rely on to think for you. And over time, that clarity starts to build on itself. If this helped you think about AI in a new way, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel and check out our other course experiences. This is the kind of work that we keep doing here, helping you design systems that actually support the life you're trying to build.